Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the latest episode of the Tim King Show. 2 weeks in a row. Who the fucking thunk it? Not me, that's for fucking sure. But hey, we got a lot to talk about, man. We got NBA trade deadline. We got Super Bowl this week. Wrestling's hotter than ever coming off of the Royal Rumble. AEW's hot. New Japan's losing all their guys. And to talk about all of these different things, I mean, I didn't think who would be better to bring on in than to talk about all this stuff. Then my boy, the OGK, the guy who does all the Game Breaker sports picks, man. You can find him just lighting it up, put money in your pocket all over the place, right here live every Thursday night on the Debate Network. Yo, Bakley, what is good, bro? How you feeling tonight?
I feel good. There's a lot to talk about. You know, Shams is running amok on Twitter right now, so we're going to have to piggyback off what he's telling us about all these trades.
Yeah, man, there's been a lot of NBA trade action over the last couple of days. We've had some heavy hitters go. We've had Jaren Jackson get traded over to the Jazz. Anthony Davis was just traded a couple of hours ago. The Bulls have made four separate trades at this point. I'm not particularly happy with any of them. So we definitely got a lot to discuss on the NBA trade deadline front. We got the Super Bowl this week. The Seahawks are 4.5-point favorites over the Patriots. Super Bowl 60. So we'll definitely talk about that. And then, like I said, man, coming up the Royal Rumble, I know going into the Royal Rumble, and I know what's up, everyone in the chat. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I know Justin in particular wasn't so happy with the results, but what I wanted at the Royal Rumble, exactly what I wanted at the Royal Rumble, went down with Roman Reigns and Liv Morgan winning. So we'll definitely talk about Roman and CM Punk heading into WrestleMania season. What's next for Liv Morgan? AEW is hot and heavy right now. We got Dynamite coming up here in a couple of hours. We got to watch along, obviously live right here on the Debate Network.
They just added a match in the Eliminator match. Babes of Wrath versus Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne.
I like that. I think Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford should win those belts off of the Babes of Wrath at some point, or Megan Bayne needs to take the singles belt off of Willow at some point. But we'll discuss that once we get into the wrestling hour. But we got lots to discuss. Justin, what is up, Mr. Every Single? Appreciate you tuning in, bro. Appreciate everything that you do. You are the man. Alex, thanks for dropping in. Appreciate you. Zach, what is good, man? National Homemade Soup Day. Oh, fuck, man. I can fuck with some homemade soup for sure. Double J, what is up, bro? Great show last night or 2 nights ago over on World Elite. Good stuff there, man. But yeah, we got lots to talk about. And again, if you guys are new, just tuning into the channel, please smash that like button on this video. Please subscribe to the Debate Network, man. These guys are live each and every single night. Justin, Poppy, Dom, this guy right here, Bakley, Kayla, doing their thing. So make sure you guys smash the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel. Really, really appreciate that. And then drop some comments while you guys are tuning in. But I guess you just want to start the NBA trade deadline is hot, right? So I think we should probably just go right on into that, right?
Yes, we definitely should. A lot of big trades and moves that we can kind of see where teams are at.
Definitely. And I mean, like, so for me personally, the biggest domino of this trade deadline was supposed to be Giannis, right? Is Giannis going to get moved? They were saying that they didn't want to move him in this upcoming offseason. They wanted to get it done at the trade deadline here. The Bulls, bro, I still like from 2 nights ago, all right? And I don't even know that I want Giannis. Like, let's be real. I want Giannis, right? But like 2 nights ago, on I think it was Bet Online or something, the odds for the Bulls were at plus 3,500 to get Giannis, okay? And then they jumped all the way to plus 250, okay? So we went from like 4th or 5th odds to get Giannis to fucking first, to number 1, to the first overall bet on season odds to get Giannis. So, I mean, we'll talk about who already was traded. But let's talk about Giannis really quick and where you think maybe the best fit for Giannis is. Where do you think Giannis is going to end up?
Yeah, and then today there was a thing where it all depended on where John Morant was going. And there was rumors there was a deal in place for John Morant. I forget what team he was looking to go to, but wherever he was going, it was going to be tested on Giannis. but there hasn't been really any heard of either. So it's like it's a lot of hearsay and a lot of moving parts because if you want one, you kind of have to get the other, and so on and so on. But with Giannis, the big thing is the price tag for him. It's going to be high, even though he's been playing for a while. I believe he's still in the upper 20s. I believe it is in age. Is it, with yes, he is. Oh, actually 31. So he's 31.
Yeah.
He's still gonna like when you get to that age bracket, you kind of look at what the team wants and then what you're willing to give up to bring him in. It's usually not the same. They're gonna want multiple firsts and a player, and you're not gonna get that for a 31-year-old most times.
Yeah.
Look at what Dallas got for Luka. And they got lucky getting the first overall pick and getting Cooper Flag.
Dude.
And then they just used Anthony Davis in a trade to bring in more assets for a rebuild. So it's like,
well, that might
be interesting.
That was the worst trade of all time. I think that you argued for that trade in the moment. And I guess
I still do. I still do because I don't think that team was going to win. And if you know what your window is, the sooner you make a trade, the better. Even though it might not be on paper great, they still were able to get the number one pick. And
they had the 10th overall odds to get it.
And the only reason they got it was because of the trade.
Oh, right. They would have been a fringe playoff seed well, they still were. They were the fucking 10th, whatever that is. But
let's not
pretend that Luka couldn't have willed them into winning that fucking play-in tournament, right? And so you're right. They wouldn't have got Cooper Flag. But would you trade Luka Doncic for Cooper Flag?
No, but I don't think of it as one-on-one.
Hold on 1 second. My bad. He's been waiting to show this off. All right, show it off.
The champ.
You got your belt. What else did you get? And look down here in the camera. There you go. What else did you get?
Darby Allin and Boy Wins.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Representing AEW, WWE. That's your title belt. For you. And I fell. All right. Good job. Go play. All right, my bad. No, but I feel you, and I think yo, Chef, what's up, bro? Thank you for tuning in, dude. Appreciate you, and always, Poppy, we love you. We appreciate everything that you do, brother. But yeah, man, it's like basically like that trade did end up Luka for Cooper Flag. So like, I'm not gonna say Nico Harrison.
I think a bit more so. Like, of course, Luka is worth a lot more. But when you're trying to reset a franchise and you can get a number one pick for one of the best players, it's at least going to help your franchise rebuild quicker. And that's what they're doing. You saw the moves they made today because they want to build around Cooper.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel that. And Cooper Flag's a fucking stud, dude. Like a flag.
And he's only 19 too. So.
Right. And I think Luka has a chance to win a championship in LA one day. So I think like it worked out for him for sure. But back to Giannis, you're right. And Streets always says, I mean, like if you look at Giannis, the way Giannis plays basketball is different, dude. He's a fullback out there. Like Giannis he's not a shooter. Like Giannis's strengths are because of his strengths. Like he's a freak athlete. He uses his body. So like for the Bulls, let's just use the Bulls, for example. You'd have to give up Matas Buzelis, who's our number one prospect, huge potential there. In theory, you would have had to give up Kobe White, but he's gone now. You would have to give up Ayo Dosunmu. I mean, we don't even have the Bulls are out of it. We don't got any assets anymore. We've shipped away all of our assets, I believe. But
it could have been a player and multiple firsts, or two players and two firsts.
Well, I still think that's what it's going to end up being. And listen, I know Miami was highly mentioned. You had the Tyler Hero package.
That's who it was. That's the team we were with the John Morant and Giannis. It was the Miami Heat.
Right.
And then the holdup was they're trying not to get rid of Bam Adebayo. That's the one piece. Him and I think Tyler Hero.
Well, Hero is going to be the focal point of the trade, which
Yeah.
to me, then, if you're trading Hero away, that makes no sense. But I guess Norman Powell's an all-star this year, but he's 30 years old, right? So you got Norman Powell, all-star, 30 years old. You bring Giannis in, you got Bam. That's not a championship team. So I don't know why Miami makes that move. The Bulls don't have it. For me,
it's because it's now. That team that the Miami Heat, it's kind of built weird right now. It's like they got pieces, but they either need to win now or sell off some of them,
right,
and get younger.
But the problem with Giannis is you're going to sell off your pieces, and then you're going to put Giannis around nobody, and that's going to be the same situation as Milwaukee, where they're not even they're not a top 10 seed. They're not a top. I know,
and that's why a trade hasn't been done yet.
Right. And then, so for me, it's out west, dude. I think it's easily the Spurs got to figure out a way to make it happen, dude. They have so many young assets. They still have picks. Or Oklahoma City. They have so many young assets still, dude. They have so
But do you mess up that chemistry that they have? They just won a title. They brought back all those pieces. They're still winning. One of the best teams.
If you're able
to mess with that?
What if you're able to keep Shea and you're able to keep Chet and then you're able to keep Williams and you just like Lou Dort is the focal point and then you ship off like fucking 7 picks to him or something. Now, obviously, you got to find contracts to match Giannis's contract. Then you have to pay Giannis, which is the ultimate part, right? So we're talking about you got to give up young players. We're talking about you got to give up picks with it. But you also got to pay the man, dude. So, like, will he re-sign with the organization that trades for him? That's the kicker too, dude.
I always started like a team like the Timberwolves.
Yes,
you do have a piece that you could trade if you wanted to. A young guy named Jaden McDaniels. You have him. You do have picks. Like you could get rid of Rudy Gobert if you wanted to, because you still have Naz Reid on the bench as your 6th man.
Yeah,
you have assets that you could put because ideally you definitely keep Anthony Edwards. You pair it with Giannis, awesome,
sick combo,
and then you
that's 1-2 punch.
You kind of have to make a difference of do you want to keep your big man or do you want to keep a guy like Julius Randle?
Oh man, dude!
Like it all depends on it, but like their team,
because you probably can't keep Randall, Gobert, and Giannis, right? Because they obviously Jaden McDaniels they can flip away, and you don't want to send Nas and Jaden McDaniels away. So
do you think a team like the Warriors who want to make one last run? Do they make a trade because Jimmy Butler just got hurt?
Yeah, so you trade buckets, you trade what's his name, Pizednik, and then you trade Kuminga, right? And then you trade some picks.
But there's a dark horse team that I think could use a guy like him, and if he would transfer that team, the Portland Trailblazers. You look at what they have. They got Drew Holiday at point guard. They got Denis Avdija, who is a star, small forward, power forward. They got Donovan Klingon at center, who has been shown off the last month and a half.
But do you know
a guy like this year to that line?
You know the most important thing that they have, though?
Assets.
They have all of the Bucks first-round picks from the Damian Lillard trade. And if the Bucks are trying to break it down, bro, then wouldn't they want their first-round pick?
And on top of that, they also have Damian Lillard.
Oh yeah, right. They do. But that would be one of those moves. And we can get off Giannis and move on to other moves. But that would be one of those moves, kind of like the Jazz just made for Jaren Jackson Jr., which is a next year move, which is in the Wizards too, with the Anthony Davis move, which is a next year move, which is totally fine to set yourself up. So what? You send Donovan Klingon back with like 6 picks or something, and you call it a day? Like, yeah, I can see the Jets making the Blazers making a move like that. I was thinking about Jaren Jackson going to the Jazz,
but those are just a couple of the West teams that I think that aren't up there. Like like you said, the Spurs, but I see the Spurs on Thunder. They're 1-2, so I feel like they're less likely to make a move.
Right.
There's not a lot of teams like I could see the Magic make a move, probably, but then
They have
they
no
need
first
moves
round
there.
picks. They just sent 4 for
Yeah.
Desmond Bain.
Or the dark horse. I mentioned them earlier with the Raptors.
Mhm.
That's a dark horse team, I think, because
Yeah.
they're sitting there at the 4 seed at 30-21, but they don't have that true guy right now. It's just a bunch of decent guys. Like you got RJ Barrett, like you got Emmanuel Quickly, who they got in with both guys they got from the Knicks. They got Scotty Barnes, Jacob Poltro hasn't really done much, but like they got Brandon Ingram, who's a piece that they've been offering in trade.
Which I don't know why, because he was the reason they were playing so well earlier in the season, dude. Like they were a top 3 seed in the East for quite some time.
Then he got hurt, and then they still continued to play good because of their whole team mentality. Like the guys off the bench, so like they got that Mama Luca Villi, they got Javon Steed. Like they're starting to get more out of Cody Dick, like Grady Dick, but it's like they're like more of like a team where everyone does a lot of good things, just not great. And if you add him to that, and then you trade one of those pieces like a Brandon Ingram and a couple firsts. Imagine what that team do. It's just like when they traded for Kawhi Leonard, how they were before him and how they were once they traded him for 1 year, but they still won a title.
Which was huge. I mean, it better than anyone. Little lucky bounce and Yep. All right. Yes or no? Is Giannis going to get traded at this trade deadline?
No.
Okay. I don't think so either. I think if it was going to happen, it would have happened already. Let's keep going then. Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Utah Jazz. 8 total players combined. Really no one of any relevancy outside of Jaren Jackson Jr. You got the kid Clayton, the rookie out of Florida, was involved in it. But you got 3 first-round picks going. Not Utah's, which was huge. 3 first-round picks that Utah had as assets going to Memphis.
Yeah.
None of which was theirs. Which was I think maybe a 2031 was theirs. But they're thinking at this point by 2031 they're going to be a championship contending team. Adding Jaren Jackson Jr. to that Utah Jazz team, bro, next year, that's a scary fucking lineup, man. They're getting really, really nice production from that kid next year. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a great player.
And and right now he's listed as the center.
With Lauri Markkanen there, dude, that's nasty, man.
I think the big thing with this is, and then you also have to remember how well Nurkic was playing, and then you got Filipowski, and then you had Walker Kessler, who was a rebound machine. So like
George is fucking balling, dude.
Like he's killing it now. Like
shit. Yo, bro. I'm feeling you, dude. Listen. We'll talk about the Bulls momentarily.
And then, did you see what Isaiah Collier did last night?
Was that 20? That was 20 and 22 or the 18 and 22 game, right?
No, that was Jared Allen, but
he had 22 assists, right?
Yeah, he had 22 assists. He had 10 points, like 6
10.
rebounds and 22 assists.
Yeah,
like crazy. But they needed that bona fide player defensively. They don't play good defense in Utah. They can shoot. You got some good shooters. They rebound great, and then they have some facilitators, but they didn't have that defense.
Yep.
And I think that's like they can score. And the big thing in a lot of their games was just playing both sides of the ball, and Jaren Jackson allows them to do that. Like you look at like some of the players, it's like they can afford to. This also allows Lauri Markkanen to move down to the power forward position right now because they've had to use him as center. Also, Jaren Jackson has the flexibility to play the 3, 4, and 5. So when you get Kessler back, you're going to have some height at that 3 to 5 positions, play defense, rebound, and score. that the only weakness on this team right now is shooting guard after this trade. And I'm sure with whatever pick they get, they can address it or they can sign somebody. But like you said, this is easily a move for next year. They're trying to win now. They've done enough losing the last couple of years. Bring in assets, and then you can. This is, I would say, phase 2.
Yeah,
for the Jazz.
Yeah, which is great for them. You listen. First of all, Chef. Yes, bro. There's a lot of mid-tier to flat-out horrible teams in the NBA. That's no doubt. And the fucking 10-team playoff in each conference is insane, dude. And it really shows how mid it is each and every year when 2 or 3 of those teams are either 500 or under 500. So we need to go back to 8 teams make the playoffs, figure it out from there. So no, I'm with you, Chef. And Marcus, what is up, brother?
What's up? Having
a great day, my guy. Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, man. So I was like, why would Utah make that move? But then I thought about it, and with Laurie and with Keontae there, and you remember Ace Bailey didn't want to go there, but Ace Bailey is a hell of a fucking basketball player, right?
And now he's playing more. So
he's playing good ball, right? I mean, he's only 19 years old too.
Yeah.
So with him and Keontae, Laurie, you're bringing Jaren Jackson Jr., who now is going to be the veteran on the team. Think about that, right? Like he's been the kid. He's been the kid. Now he's the veteran on this team, dude. So
yeah, they just brought in Alonzo Ball. They still have Kevin Love, who's there. You got Brian Sensabaugh, who's one of the bright young 3-point shooters. Vince Williams Jr. was a very good backup to John Morant in Memphis. They have I love these guys that can play more than one position. And they have upside. So they have a lot of mix and match, and they can do with that lineup to where they can kind of play around with the other teams, and they can move players to different positions because it's all about matchups and how you can exploit the other teams on the other side.
Well, this is a great question here because we talked about this earlier, you and I, in the pre-show fist fight. And I kind of was like, why would Washington make the trade? But should we fear the Wizards next year now? A couple more good moves, and they're going to be a terrifying team.
Well, Gilbert Arenas posted a Twitter post after the trade, and he was like, I didn't like Anthony Davis on the Lakers, but I won't lie, I love him on the Wizards as long as he can stay healthy.
I mean, the squad's pretty solid, right? I mean, let me pull up the lineup. You sent it to me earlier. So we got Trae Young now at the 1, and that trade was interesting to me as well. I was kind of confused by that trade, but now it's starting to come together, right?
He came out of if you look at it, he's an all-star. He could get back to how he was playing once he gets healthy, but Jalen Johnson developed so much in the time. Once he got hurt, he's a triple-double machine on the Atlanta Hawks. He's younger.
An all-star.
Yeah, he's an all. He's going to be an all-star, one of the best players this year in fantasy, but just in general. The Atlanta Hawks are going to go with him and Dysel Dennis at those guard positions. It let them have Trae Young be expendable so they could get something for him because, they're kind of ready to revamp that team. Trae Young, go somewhere where he could be the guy, not worry about somebody behind him.
Yeah.
You look at that Wizards team, I looked at it. From that team that they had beforehand with Kyle Kuzma and company, you had him, CJ McCollum, and all that. They were able to really do a lot of damage.
Yeah, dude.
And trade draft picks to bring in Anthony Davis. Of course, they brought in Trae Young.
How did they go from Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma to Trae Young and Anthony Davis? It's great. Right?
Because they traded all those picks that weren't theirs. They kept their own. If you look at all those picks, it wasn't their own. In that Jordan Poole deal, in that Kyle Kuzma trade, they trade them for picks, and then they use the picks that they got from those trades essentially to bring in Davis or bring in Trae Young. Like just like we said with the Jazz, it's almost kind of like phase 2. You have all those young draft picks that you brought in like Keyshawn George, Trey Johnson, Bilal Coulibaly, Aksar, who has been developing at that center position, and kind of like the same thing. You could bring in Anthony Davis. He can play at power forward and not center.
Right.
As long as which he likes to do. You can like Trae Young can come in, play point guard. You can move Trey Johnson to shooting guard and have Keyshawn George come off the bench if you want to. And you really only have to kind of worry about that small forward position. You're going to have a top 5 possible pick this year that you can address anything. And you have a little bit of depth on that team. So not saying that they're going to be a top 5 team, but I think that they could easily make the playoffs next year. But just like the Jazz, it's a next year move. Yeah. You get these 2 guys healthy. You grow these young players a little bit more because they've been in a lot of good games this year. They just lose. And they can kind of make that next step. Like where they had a bad start of the year, they're 13-36. But they're like 1-19 at one point, and they've done a lot better in close games. And I like the pieces that they have. It's just a matter of getting those all-star players. And like you had Band-Aids, like Chris Middleton, he was a Band-Aid,
He was just salary relief when they brought him in, right? I mean, he was just a contract to make a trade work.
And you got a guy that could be a 6-man off the bench in Bub Carrington who has shown signs. They have guys that show signs, but there's really only like Aksar's the only player that would be like, oh, that's the guy that could be a future all-star. So you want to bring these 2 in, bring vets that are all-stars in, and then you want to go from there. Like you want to sell tickets. You want to get people invested in that team, and
Trae Young
is a good way to do that.
Logo shot.
Trae Young, yeah.
Like he's fucking Trae Young, dude. Like you talk about the NBA, people know Trae Young, right?
Yeah.
And that's a huge trade. All right.
And then it's another thing where when your team starts doing better, other players want to come play with you too.
Yeah. So. Right. So Utah Jazz, Washington Wizards, going forward, which team has the better trajectory right now?
The Jazz, because it's all young players.
Yeah, but all right. So win now, next year, Washington probably is better suited. Overall, long-term potential.
The Jazz.
Yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely. All right. So speaking of kind of long-term potential versus win right now, win a championship this season, James Harden, Darius Garland, they flipped teams. James Harden to the Cavs. Again, he was unhappy. Again, he wants to be traded. Again, he can still ball his fucking ass off. All right. So we're gonna see Beard go ball in Cleveland. And Darius Garland, all-star player, man, 2-time all-star, good ball player, good point guard. What do you make of this move? Does this James Harden trade? Does this make Cleveland? I mean, I'm not gonna say a championship contender because they're already a championship contender, but does this maybe elevate them to the next level where they don't get upset by a team like the Pacers in the second round again? And obviously not the Pacers, because the Pacers only had 12 motherfucking wins all year. 3 of which are against our Bulls, chef. 3 of them. How? I digress.
This was kind of like a puzzle move for me because Cleveland was one of the best teams last year. They had the number 1 seed in the East. Of course, you just mentioned the whole plate pieces thing. I think the pieces were just playing out of their mind before Tyrese Halliburton got hurt. And then on the other side, you got the Clippers. They did pretty decent last year, but they kind of fell this year because Leonard was hurt for the first quarter, and they're in that range of, they're in that play-in range. And I see it more so as the Cavs wanting more firepower on the offensive side because they do have defense, and then they got Jared Allen. They did make a move earlier. They traded Deontay Hunter out. So it makes me believe that they needed a spark because of how they started the year. They're still in the picture. Of course, they're still in the picture there, but they're at the 5 seed, 30 and 21, with teams like the
crazy,
Sixers and the Raptors. So it's like
right.
they need more offense.
Which
And
Beard
Harden's going to
provides.
bring you that there at that point guard, but then he also facilitates the ball very well when he does. Yeah, he was averaging 9.5 assists a game before the last month when Leonard came back. Leonard comes back, it kind of changes the team. You're getting less offense out of him and a little bit more facilitating. And I think that's what Harden wanted. Harden wanted to be more involved. But anytime Kawhi Leonard's there, he's going to be the focal point. So now you can kind of get like a guard-centric output out of the Cavs because Jared Allen will have his games, but he's going to be more of the rebounder. Yeah, Evan Mobley has been hurt the last 2 weeks. When he comes back, he's in the same scenario where he's doing more of that. They needed more speed and more production. And then on the flip side, the Clippers needed more facilitating. They added an asset on top of getting Garland, and he's a type of guy that can play better with Kawhi Leonard and, of course, with your big man. So
yeah. No, I really like the trade for both teams. I think Cleveland's in a win now mode. Obviously, I think the East is wide fucking open, man. I don't care if they were at the 8th seed right now. I think the East is really, really fucking open, dude. So when you encompass James Harden with Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, that's nasty. And then, like you said, they shipped DeAndre Hunter out of town, but they brought in Keon Ellis, who's a hell of a role player. He plays defense. He can hit a nice shot, dude. And he can also facilitate the ball as well. So having Keon Ellis there, they brought Harden and Ellison, really nice pieces for Cleveland, I think, to move forward next year. I mean, you're looking at the East, right? You're looking at the Knicks. I think the Knicks got to be the team to beat in the East. Detroit's 37-12, right? Cade Cunningham's playing out of his fucking mind, playing great ball. It's really nice to see him it's really nice to watch the player just get better and better every year, dude. And that is what Cade Cunningham has done, taking that team from the bottom barrel. I mean, I think that team won like 13 games 2 or 3 years ago, dude. To 37-12 right now.
They did that. They get the number 1 pick. You get Cade Cunningham. But I think he's the great player. But then you have to look at how they reshape the team with it.
Oh, yeah.
You get a center in Jalen Duran who has been killing it.
He's a stud, bro.
You drafted Asor Thompson. You bring in Tobias Harris. Don't get me started with that.
Hey man, that's a great glue piece, dude. Good veteran who does it all.
You bring in a savvy veteran shooter in Duncan Robinson, who's just there to play defense and shoot threes. And then you have a good bench. They got Holland, Isaiah Stewart, Karis LeVert. You got Jenkins. You have Ivy, or you had Ivy. You have a long bench. So it's like they just transform the team that quick. It just shows how easy it is to do as long as you have one great player to do it around.
For me, I still take, and I don't know, man, and I maybe I just have to see him do it, but I'll still take the Knicks over the Pistons in the playoffs. I'll still take the Celtics over the Knicks in the playoff, or the Pistons in the playoffs, and I'll still take the Cavs over the Pistons in the playoffs. And I just might take Philadelphia over the Pistons in the playoffs, because Philly, when Maxey and Embiid presumably able to play the playoffs, right? Because the dude's been playing. This dude just had like 30 fucking 5 points in 20 minutes the other day. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
And now we're getting Embiid going now.
That's what I'm like. No, yeah, he's staying, right.
And then he's staying healthy somehow.
So I think Detroit's still, to me, maybe like the 4th or 5th best team in the Eastern Conference. But I don't think there's any reason that Cleveland can't come out of the East. I really don't, dude. I think Beard, Mitchell, Mobley and Allen is a really fucking nasty quartet, dude. You guys got
Yeah.
Keon Ellis off the bench, good role player, feisty. I like it a lot, but hell yeah, Dango, what is up, bro?
Kayla!
What is up, girl? Hope you are having a good night, you two, brother Dango. But yeah, man. So that's kind of the trade for the Clippers. It's whatever, man. It's a trade for next year. The Clippers aren't. Listen,
I do love
Thunder and
the
Spurs.
pickup. I do love the pickup for the Clippers. I'll say this. I do love it.
Yeah.
Because you're getting a younger piece.
Yeah.
He's going to want to be there.
And a second round pick with it, too. They got a second round pick with it, too.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you for sure. Yeah, Cade is a dangerous man. But like Bakley said, Cade's a stud, dude. Like a double-double, triple-double contender, stud. But yeah, Pistons definitely did a really nice job putting pieces around him. But let's move on. So we hit.
We just got big news. Oh, that's not good for my team. Eagles legendary offensive line coach Jeff Stoutland announced he is leaving the organization.
Retiring or going elsewhere?
I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
So
all right.
I have to see how it is.
All right. So then we talk. All right. We hit Giannis. We hit the major trades, I believe, the three big boys. I'm going to talk about the Bulls just very, very quickly. Yeah. So the Bulls traded Nikola Vucevic over to Boston. We brought back in Anthony Simons. We traded Kevin Huerter over to the Pistons. And we brought back Jaden Ivey, both young players, kind of like when we traded for Josh Giddey. Bring him in. When we traded AC for Giddey, bring him in, see what he can do. Obviously, with Giddey, that was a fucking steal, right? Like Giddey, damn, man.
I thought you guys got so lucky bringing him in because I knew
you were always on his ass, dude. You were always on Giddey's ass, dude. You like that
because he is that. I don't want to say triple. Well, he
is a triple double machine. Dude.
He is. He's like he can do it all, and you can kind of build around him. But I felt that like the Thunder were already built with him not being used sometimes. So it was like they could afford to let him go, which is crazy to think that.
And they brought in a defensive and a locker room leader in AC. I mean, how many times do you see a trade win-win for both teams?
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
That was a win-win, right? We got our best player, and they got a fucking guy, a linchpin, who helped fucking get them a championship.
Yeah,
and maybe another championship this year. But so we traded away Vooch for Simons. We traded away Huerter, and we brought in Ivy. I think that we're going to end up trading Simons away. We traded. This was the best trade of the series. We traded for Dario Saric. We didn't have to do anything. We got 2 second-round picks just taking on his salary, and then we flipped him to the Pistons as part of that. We flipped him today as part of one of the trades. It doesn't matter. He was not staying here long-term. Brought in Mike Conley. He went out to the Hornets today with Kobe White. We got nothing back.
And now he's about to go back to the Timberwolves.
Yes. Yeah. Mike Conley is going to go from the Timberwolves to the Bulls to the Hornets, cut by the Hornets, and then re-signed by the Timberwolves. Yeah. Yep. It's crazy how basketball works. But long and the short is the Bulls have made 4 trades. We brought in Anthony Simons. We brought in Jaden Ivey. And we brought in 6 second-round draft picks. And I don't know. I don't know. I get it. No, listen. So I know where you're going to go. And the way I look at it is this. Get the expiring contracts, bring in expiring contracts, get contracts out of here. Get players out of here. Patrick Williams and that $90 million needs to fucking go. They better I thought that they could figure out a way to lump him in with Io or Kobe to get that contract off the books. But at the end of the day, we've traded Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, Alex Caruso. Again, we got Giddey back, so we don't necessarily need a first-round pick. Kobe White. And we have got nothing in return other than second-round draft picks. And it's just it's crazy to me. Like, it's mind-blowing to me how you trade away all of these guys and only amass second-round picks, Josh Giddey, Jaden Ivey, and Simons, who we're going to trade Anthony Simons away from all accounts, everything that I'm reading. And Colin Sexton we brought in for Kobe, and Colin Sexton's going to get traded. We're still going to ship out Sexton. We're going to ship out Simons. I get it. We're going to have all this salary cap next year in a free agent class that has absolutely nothing. What the fuck are we doing?
You got, like, when you looked at the team when they had Levine, Vukovic, all those pieces, what's his name, DeMar DeRozan, what were they as a unit? I would say they were mid. They weren't great. They weren't bad.
They had their first 55 games they played together with Lonzo Ball healthy. Yeah. They were the 1 seed in the East. Right when Lonzo went down, the ball came out of his hands. There's no true point guard. And then it went to ISO ball with Zach, ISO ball with fucking DeMar. And then Vooch, who is a fucking team player, as you know, said, fuck this. When I get the ball, I'm going ISO ball because I'm not getting the ball if these two fucking have it all game.
So basically,
yes,
you're kind of going against what the head coach is trying to do. And we all know who Billy Donovan is and what he tries to do there. But that team had a cap, which was big. They could probably win games, but they weren't going to do anything too special. So I think they held on to pieces too long. I thought they should have traded Zach LaVine years before they did, because he wasn't a good defender. DeMar DeRozan wasn't a good defender. Both were great shooters, and Vukovic was a great double-double machine, but same there. He could kind of defend a little bit, but they had good offense, but they weren't a good defensive team. And I think this is it's easier to blow a team up rather than trying to patch it or bring in great players. And you have the one good thing that they could say is they have that piece in Josh Giddey.
2 pieces. We got Giddey and Matas. We have 2 pieces.
Yeah. Yes. But I would say mainly they have Giddey that they can build off of. Usually in these things, you just go from scratch, and you got to figure out what direction. But they have a direction they could go in, because Giddey can rebound, he can facilitate, he can score a little bit. He's not that big of a scorer, but he can do it if he has to. You rather him shoot less.
He gets 15 points.
That's
just free throws and driving the ball to the hole and occasional threes. Yeah,
but they were able to shed a lot of salary. They were able to bring guys in, even if it's just for right now, to field a team. And then I don't care if there's if the next year's signing, the free agency is bad, great, whatever. I think what they need to do is bring in a scorer, somebody who could come in and just score, and that can work with Giddey.
Yo,
you have like a Matthias who's there too.
Am I crazy that I want Zion Williamson?
I'm one of the people that are iffy on him, and I'm a Duke fan.
I think that Giddey and Williamson can play off of each other very.
If he can stay healthy, yes.
Yeah, man. I think
that's the big thing. Healthy and his weight, because his weight has been an issue with him.
Yeah.
But I think it was a good move, because they're in that mid vortex, and you need to be out of it on one end or out of it on the other.
Oh, I call it NBA help, bro. We've been the 9 seed or the 8 seed for the past 5 seasons, dude. Since the play-in game has started, it has been the Bulls, the Hawks, and the Heat every single year, dude.
We dealt with it. We were that team before you guys became that team, and we started the process because of it, because we waited too long.
The process, yes. All right. I really want to talk wrestling, but all right. You good with NBA?
Yeah, good.
All right, yeah, because I want to make sure we get wrestling. I got a lot of shit I want to talk about there. All right, let's do the Super Bowl very, very quick. It's Super Bowl Sunday. It's kind of crazy that it's with wrestling right now and the NBA trade deadline being so hot. And quite frankly, bro, I don't know about you, but I don't really give a fuck about this Super Bowl. I don't know what it is, but I just don't. I don't care. Not that the teams aren't good. They're both good teams. They're both high-quality offensive and defensive teams. Both good stories. Both great defensive head coaches. The Sam Darnold story is phenomenal, dude. The Drake May story is fantastic, but I don't care.
I think it's the fact that it's two low market teams with not a lot of exposure. Seattle doesn't have a big market. You can say whatever, but New England isn't a big market. Like Boston's a big market, but this is New England, where they surround New Hampshire, Vermont, and there, and a little bit of Rhode Island. But I don't feel like it's a huge market for media. And we've seen the fact that New England has had like one of the easiest schedules ever with who they played. They just went through an AFC Championship game where it was with a guy that threw that did one down of football until that game, and they still almost beat the Patriots.
Yeah, and let's not forget that ugly ass fucking CJ Stroud performance. All right, like what was it, 4 picks and 2 fumbles? Come on.
And then you got Seattle, who kind of looked into getting Sam Darnold. Like the scheme is probably one of the best. Like you have one superstar wide receiver in JSN, and like I bet you couldn't even name the number 2 receiver. But and then they have
now, baby.
Well, right now it's Bobo.
Is Bobo the number 2? I thought
he's the number 2. Shaheed will be. Shaheed will be, but
AJ Barner's a fucking stud tight end.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. No one knows shit about him, but he's a stud tight end.
They got like 2 or 3 tight ends, but that's the offense they run.
Yeah. Well, and the 2 running backs with KW and Charbonnet's out now, and they missed Charbonnet nasty the last game, dude. They were missed their backup running back, who they're passing or receiving back. The backup did not have a good game, dude. They were missing Sharps in a big way against the Rams, dude.
I don't think it's Chef says the lack of hype isn't about small markets. It's a rematch, but I would agree if it was 2 totally different teams than that met each other 10 years ago.
I thought the Patriots and the Rams were more intriguing to me because it was the 2 MVP candidates. It was the old gunslinger against the kid. It was the 40-year-old against the 24-year-old. Like, that was sexy to me, dude. It was, and see, I kind of like, this. The only reason I disagree with Chef is because even though the rematch, I get it, the Rams and the Patriots played in the Super Bowl 2. It would have been the 3rd time, and I wanted to see it. I really did. But we didn't get it, obviously. And Seattle just, I still don't see it with them. I mean, I get it; they're great, right? Like top 5 offense, top 5 defense.
It's not something like that splashy, but they play great. They play great defense. They run the ball.
They're great in the trenches on both sides of the ball.
And they have a star receiver that Darnold can throw to when he needs to. That's just what it is. It's the textbook playbook there. Nothing flashy.
Yeah, you run the ball a couple of times. You get the ball to JSN on the outside. I mean, JSN's a slot receiver, and he's fucking line him on the outside. He'll get open, dude. JSN is just. It's so great to see him in his element this year too, though, because he was so nasty at Ohio State, bro. And now you just see the real JSN, and it's like, okay.
The reason he kind of dropped a little bit in drafts was the fact that he's a very unselfish player, kind of like Emeka Ibuka, kind of unselfish, willing to do anything for the team at the expense of whoever they had at Ohio State.
Right?
It's that formula, and the Seahawks benefited from bringing him in. And then, isn't it crazy that just last year the Seahawks had Jackson Smith-Njigba, they had DK Metcalf, and they had Tyler Lockett, and then they get rid of Lockett and Metcalf, and then they make the Super Bowl just with Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Well, I feel awful for Tyler Lockett because they won the Super Bowl the year before Lockett got there. And then they went to the Super Bowl, and they're likely, I think they're going to win. We'll talk about that in a second. Then they get to the Super Bowl the year they get rid of Lockett. So that really sucks for him. But it's the matchup's intriguing to me, like in a way. But I think that maybe, and I said this last week when I was doing the show by myself, I think that maybe just being The Bears season had me so just engulfed in football, like in everything
Yeah.
that's going on, all the comebacks, all the heart attacks, that like other football right now, I'm just over it now. I just want to get back to the Bears football. Like I just want to get back to off-season shit. I kind of want just football to be over with, as crazy as that sounds, so I can get to off-season Bears shit, and that's where I want to be.
Yes.
But
No. I'm in that same boat. Of course, we didn't defend our Super Bowl. We still made it, but we had the issues. We've been addressing them, just like you guys are going to have to deal with all the moves that happen with your coaches and whatnot. Kind of in the same boat. I'm just ready to focus on that, the off season, see what happens, the draft, all that, and then get right back to next year.
good, because I don't want to talk about this much. I want to talk about
Yes.
wrestling. But who's going to win this game?
I got Seahawks.
Yeah. Do you think they cover the 4.5?
I'm going to say no because I just feel like, with the Patriots, it's going to be like a field goal type game somehow.
The underdog's
But
the underdog's 17-4, I think, in the last 21 of these Super Bowls when it's like 4 points or more. So that's also a major ass push towards New England in the spread. Yeah. I'm with you. I think Seattle wins by 3. New England's no fucking pushover. Everyone thinks Seattle's going to go out and dominate them. I just don't. I don't see it. Mike Vrabel's a great coach.
they're smart enough to continue using Stevenson, even though Henderson was killing it. That they've been utilizing both running backs.
Yep.
And that's the thing. If they could get those guys going in the running game and control the clock.
Dude, let's not pretend they don't got fucking weapons. Dude, Stephon Diggs turned the clocks back again.
Yep.
Coming off an ACL, dude looked fucking fresher than ever. You got Booty out there doing things, all right? Hunter Henry's been Mr. Reliable, although there was a real bad drop last week, Mr. Henry. But it was shitty weather, I get it. But they got some weapons, like you said, Henderson and Stevenson in the backfield. It'll be a good game. I think it'll be a good close game. I just don't give a fuck about it. Last question. What will the Gatorade color be?
Blue.
Oh, I was going to say blue, you son of a bitch. I'm going to go with red. Red for you. All right, hell yeah. All right, sports are over. So wrestling fans, let's get into it. Man, wrestling's crazy right now, bro. And like I'll be real, and I said this last week on the show. It was like at a bit of a lull for me. It's not because like the in-ring's not great over in AEW. It's just kind of like something felt off with me. But Royal Rumble happened over this past weekend, and I was begging. I said, please, WWE. You gave us Jey Uso versus Gunther last year, and you built that story for 100 days, and it was the most pathetic ass shit ever. So just do it right this year. And no disrespect to Braun Breaker, all right? Because I think the kid is legit. He's going to be a star. But just not CM Punk versus Braun Breaker at WrestleMania this year, dude. CM Punk, we do not have many moments left in his career. And let's be real. Roman Reigns is on his way out too. Who are the 2 biggest stars in the company? And you can say Cody, that's fine. Who are the 3 biggest stars in the company? It's CM Punk, it's Roman Reigns, and it's Cody Rhodes. What are the 2 biggest matches that you could put on that have not happened? CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. So I'm begging this Royal Rumble. No Braun Breaker. Give me the Tribal Chief. Throw it fucking up, baby. All right? I'll throw my one up with the Tribal Chief all day. And then I said, well, there's not a chance in hell that they're going to have him beat Roman and Drew because we were going to do that. We could have done that. Like, well, basically, we've been asking for that at WrestleMania since for the title for like 2-3 years, right?
Yeah.
So we know we're not going to get Roman and Drew, and then these 2 guys just absolutely shit all over Drew on Monday night, which was kind of wild. But and then everyone's like, well, Cody's going to win Elimination Chamber. Roman will choose Cody. We're going to get Roman Cody 3. And nobody wants Roman Cody 3, at least not right now. Maybe next year, maybe the following year, but not right now. All right. So please give us Roman and Phil. We got the fucking Roman and Punk, dude.
I don't even think Cody wins Chamber.
I don't think so either. I think Cody wrestles Drew at Chamber. I don't think Cody's in Chamber. I think it's gonna be Cody, Jacob, and
I think somehow they do a Chamber maybe Cody's in it, and that's the right to face Drew. And I think Jake got the 2 wins that because Cody gets screwed by Drew again, and then somehow
Triple
Cody
threat at
will get.
Mania.
Yeah, we will get triple threat.
Okay.
Jacob earns the spot, and then Cody gets himself in because he gets screwed twice.
I want to come back to that because I don't want the triple threat. I want something bigger and better than that triple threat, and I want to come back to that. But yeah, Chef, I feel that, brother. I feel that. Doc, what's up, bro? Thanks for tuning in, man. Tommy, what is good, girl? Dude, don't apologize for being late. Thank you for being here, man. We appreciate you, Tommy, very much so, girl. Roman Cody 3 not needed. No, Chef, I agree. No, but yeah, so Punk and Roman is definitely where I wanted to be at, and we got it. And then that promo on Monday Night Raw was just, man, that's what brings you, at least for me. And you know what? Because I'm gonna say this. Me and you, at least like how we take in wrestling nowadays, you are like the diehard fucking insane wrestling fan. I still love professional wrestling. I love it. But I look at myself lately as more of a casual than like at least what I enjoy. More of a casual than like being in the trenches with you guys. Because like I get it. If I was still in the trenches, I'd be screaming, build a fucking new star. Give me Braun Breaker. No, man. I want 55-year-old CM Punk against 45-year-old Roman Reigns, dude. I'm kidding. It's not like that.
Yeah.
But I want Rock Austin 17. That's what this is. The 2 biggest stars in the company. Neither are heels. They're both faces, or they're both whatever you want, tweeners, whatever you want to fucking say. Austin was never a face. Let's be real. Austin was always a tweener. But there's 2 biggest stars in the company going head to head on the stick. Monday night promo. That shit. Roman winning the Royal Rumble made me watch Raw for the first time in like 2 months, dude. Solely because Roman Reigns won the fucking Royal Rumble, and I wanted to see if him and Punk went at it. That's star power, bro. And no matter what, and I no disrespect to anyone who's watching right now, but no matter what the diehard fucking fans want, dude, this is the biggest fucking match they could do. You're going to fucking sell those stadiums out, and they're going to sell them out fast. You know why? Because 2 ESPN level fucking stars are main eventing night 2 of WrestleMania.
Here's my problem. Yeah, and I just have one problem because it's kind of counterproductive. They're going to sell it out. They're going to the way that the promos are going to be are just great. The match is probably going to be great. You know, I'm not taking away anything from that, but when you come out and this is my problem. When you come out and tell me that Roman Reigns is not going to be at any events other than maybe 2 on the road to WrestleMania, which would be Elimination Chamber and then maybe the Go Home. That kills me. It kills moving the story. You could do promos and they'll get you excited again, but then he'll be gone for a month. Oh, got to do another promo with CM Punk. And then CM Punk's up there in age, and he might be there every like Raw, miss him Raw, but then come back.
Right.
I think for your main event, that kind of takes away a little bit from it, even though it's going to be probably a great main event. But I think that's what it is. I think the fact that we've come away from wanting guys that are that are 4-timers, and CM Punk I would consider a 4-timer right now. I consider him because he's there, but like I don't see Roman Reigns as that anymore, and he's earned his right to make that money and be a part-timer. But I think it takes away from it. Like if you don't have that build because you're not there, like people are going to be there. But what is it for the story if you're not there to build on it? Like you've built on the story here, but how are you going to build up to the match? Like have that jealousy, just have that anger towards each other. Like they were saying, like I think there needs to be more to it. Like we saw how Gunther and how tired we got of Gunther and Jay because it was like every week.
Yeah, it was too much, right? It was the same shit.
But the big thing was they had just done it the week before, and which was their
Mhm.
second or third match. So the
Right.
the Mania match wound up being their fourth match. So
Yeah.
I think if Roman was on TV more, I would be into it. I'd be like, okay. Let me see what happens this week because you mentioned the perfect thing. You mentioned Mania 17 where Rock and Austin were on TV every single week.
Yep.
Yeah, leading
You're
up
right.
to it, even before the road to WrestleMania, and you felt the tension, you felt everything week to week to week. That's what I'm losing. I feel like in wrestling nowadays is that
Yeah.
it is that, and then we don't have live events on top of it. Like something could happen to CM Punk, and then on top of that, I'm glad I remember this is you kind of kill a storyline because even though I'm gonna love the match, I love where it's going with him. I love the fact that he's in the position, but now I know there's no way in chance hell that
I
Finn
know.
Balor
Yeah.
could beat CM Punk because of
Right.
this.
No chance in
Like
hell.
you could have done this after an elimination chamber, and then it would have changed my opinions
You
completely.
I'm twofold with that. One, yes, as a wrestling fan, yes, you should wait till after Elimination Chamber, see who the champions are, and then you make your choice. 100%. But as a businessman and a marketing guy, I say you fucking put this big money match
Yeah.
on tickets right fucking now, and you sell the
And then-
buildings out.
And then,
I get it, though.
what happened at Survivor Series at the end is that belt looks good, and then CM Punk is like, "Are you talking to me? You talking to me?" He's looking at Cody. You know the
Right.
issues that him and Cody had. So you could have built on that a little bit,
I
but
agree.
I think part of that kind of got killed when you took the title off Cody and it went to Drew. But you could still pull it on our heartstrings by kind of teasing maybe Cody could win at the title back somehow, or maybe this could happen. But I think doing it so soon, I think it was rushed.
They should have
Maybe-
waited. They should have
I
put
think-
the
I
put the
think
belt on
Roman
Drew
didn't
until
need-
WrestleMania. Then
I
I
think-
like what you're saying.
I think Drew. I think Roman didn't even need the Rumble to make this happen.
So maybe Cody should have won the Rumble for the third time. He challenges Drew at Mania, and then Roman wins Elimination Chamber and says, "I'm coming for your
I
belt."
think
Phil."
Jacob Fatu should have won the Rumble.
Oh, and Cody gets screwed by Drew, pulls him out. Jacob wins the Rumble. We set up the triple threat that way. Or
Yes.
does Cody go in the chamber? Drew
You need
costs
to have-
Cody the chamber.
Well, with how the stipulation is, you need to have Jacob Fatu
I agree
win
with
to get the
sure.
match somehow, whether it's the chamber or the rumble, and then Cody has to find his other way in, whether it's Khan, Drew, and put him in or somehow. Like,
Okay, so that's cool. So we talked with Roman Phil a little bit and the
Yes.
whys and schematics behind it. But first of all, what's up, Chris? Thanks for tuning in,
What's up,
bro.
what's up?
Really appreciate you, man. Next year, I think Sammy's going to win the Rumble next year. I think it's like,
I think it's foregone conclusion. Yeah,
which I thought was this year, which we both
Yes.
thought was this year, but I think 120% is going to be next year. I'm glad I said.
then he wasn't even in this one.
I think I said last year I put one of my balls on the line that Sami Zayn wins the Rumble next year. Glad I only put one of them, but now I'm going to put the other ball on the line. Double or nothing for my balls. All right, I get my other ball back if Sammy wins the Rumble next year. But no, so you hit it on the head, right? We're probably going to get Drew, Jacob, and Cody at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Why not figure out a way to get Randy Orton in the mix? Why not do a fatal four-way with the four of them?
That'd be interesting, like because we really don't know what we're gonna get from him. And on the flip side, we don't even know what's gonna happen with Braun Breaker. You got the Masked Man, who could be anybody. You got the thing with Adam Pearce. Like they have a lot they can play with right now.
Yeah,
and we still have Seth Rollins who could be coming back on top of that. And which I don't know, maybe that's the route that they're hoping that they could get for Braun Breaker at Mania.
I think so for sure.
With that, it's just a matter, and I don't even think that the Masked Man has to be where he is going to be until that time. I think it was maybe just giving Seth more time to get.
I think the Masked Man was Theory again because Theory is working as a double agent for Seth. Like, I think that's what's going on, but that's neither here nor there right now. Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, I think they could have waited. I don't know. Maybe I'm in that mindset of you where, like, I'm just like, I don't know about this. I think maybe this is the backdraw of trying to do too many things at once too early, and then you lose kind of the luster.
Yeah.
But right until the right time to do it.
Because we're still 100 fucking days away from WrestleMania. I mean, like, it's not tomorrow. It's not next week. It's not next month. It is 3 months away or 2 months away from it. Or 2 months?
They know they had to do something, considering that they were going back to Vegas where they did last year. They had to con people into coming back.
Right. Yeah. No, I get it. And that's it. And how do you get them to come back? By putting guys who could fucking put on the show for an hour on ESPN in the main event of night 2. That's how you get them, right? That's how you get people like me to start watching again. Because there's nothing that this company's been doing that's making me want to fucking watch the show until now. This makes me want to watch. Also, she makes me want to watch. That was huge. Her winning was the right choice, dude. I thought, though, and I'll get your opinion on it. And again, sorry, Justin. Sorry, Chad. I know you guys all love La Primera here, and I love her too. But I think Stephanie should have lost the title to Raquel on Raw, or she should lose the title to Raquel leading up to WrestleMania, because Liv and Raquel, or Liv, Raquel, and Roxanne should be the world title match at WrestleMania for this championship. Liv and Stephanie, again, love Stephanie, but there is no allure to me for Liv and Stephanie. That feels very flat.
You remember when everyone gave Tiffany Stratton hell for the title reign that she had because of the matches? At least she defended the title. At least she was active. Right. At least she got booked every single week.
She was 25-0 in singles matches in 2025.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Go from there. You have Io Sky, who defended it once in 3 months. You got, of course, Jade Cargill, who it's going on almost, 2-3 months? That was the last
90 days, no title defenses, bro.
And that was the whole time Tiffany Stratton was gone. And then she comes back, and she still hasn't. And she was doing this thing with Jordan Grace, and there has been no sign of a match even coming soon. Then you go to Raw. Stephanie McCare has defended it twice against Raquel, but before that, she really didn't defend it too much. Maybe once or twice, and then she doesn't wrestle as much. It's like becoming crazy. And then I was getting hyped. I was like,
add in Julia too. All right.
So and Liv Morgan deserves this after finishing second 2 years in a row, third, I think, last year. She was due for it. She comes back. She has the character. She has that it factor. I believe that she has gained over the last couple of years with her confidence. But it's the story. The story brings it to Raquel, especially with the rise of Raquel and everything. But how are they going to get out of, okay, she kind of screwed Raquel out of the title match on Monday after Raquel was getting that match. And then she eliminated Raquel from the Royal Rumble. And then she's going to pick Stephanie McCare. How are you going to sort that all out? I know you have 2 months, but
Raquel's got to be in that title match, bro. It's got to be Shawn versus Diesel at WrestleMania, right? Or Shawn versus Diesel versus the 1, 2, 3 kid. I'm just kidding. Roxanne's so much better than the 1, 2, 3 kid. Just a joke, guys. But it's got to be Liv and Raquel, right? And there's no disrespect to Stephanie, but you know how you just honed in on Jade? Julia, who's now a 2-time United States Women's Champion, and Stephanie McCare. I mean, combined, bro. Combined, they've been champion for like a year, okay? And combined, I think they have like 5 title defenses, including a title loss, Julia. Like, that's crazy to me, dude.
Both mid-card champions.
Well, the Maxine thing was goofy. I mean, I was all for it. But it wasn't goofy her winning the belt, but giving it right back to Becky was super goopy. And I get it. You want to do Becky and AJ Lee at WrestleMania. That's your biggest women's match you could put down. So that's fine. But damn, man. Like, I don't know. But I'm not here to hate right now. I'm just here to talk. You got to think that we got to be going to Liv versus Raquel, right? Like, we got to move to Liv versus Raquel, right?
At some point, yes. Which I hope they don't waste it on Elimination Chamber as like a step. They put that behind, and then it's her and Liv versus Stephanie. I hope they don't just brush under the rug then.
No, I feel you. And Justin said, been saying it, and we'll continue to say it. Putting the title on Stephanie was too soon. Should have put it on Io to put it more on the Rhea, Io, and Kabuki's feud now that it's been one-sided. Yeah, man.
And then how's it going to affect Roxanne? Because we thought that it was going to be Roxanne and Liv as a tag team for a little while.
I thought the easiest route was just, why couldn't Raquel win the title on? Well, first of all, okay, I want to go back to why was Raquel in the Royal Rumble if she was getting a world title shot on Raw the next night?
Exactly.
That's fucked up, number one. Number two, why wasn't that women's championship match on the fucking Royal Rumble show itself? That was a fucking banger.
Just look at Sammy. Sammy had the title shot, and then he wasn't even in the Rumble. You did the complete opposite. You just decided, let's do the opposite. We're going to have her in the Rumble. She's going to get screwed somehow and lose, and then she's going to get a title shot and then lose that too.
That was the most perplexing, because I thought that Stephanie and Raquel was on the Rumble, and then it was not on the Rumble, and I was like, oh, maybe they scrapped it. And I don't keep up with the Raw shit as much as I should, but it doesn't entice me, right? But then I go, oh shit, we got a street fight on Raw. Fuck yeah, sign me up. And I go, why the fuck was Raquel in the Royal Rumble in the first place? Like, that's weird.
Yeah, just that Raquel should have just won on Monday, used the ankle injury as a way to protect Stephanie in a loss.
Yes. Yep. Yes. And then Roxanne Perez wins the Elimination Chamber, and we get Liv versus, and then Roxanne comes out and goes, oh, well, I'm choosing this title. So then we have Liv, Roxanne, and Roxanne, or nice, mix all their names up, but we have Liv, Roxanne, and Raquel in a triple threat at WrestleMania, which would have been so fucking money, dude.
Yep.
Or I'm good with just Liv and Raquel. I'm good with either way, but I don't know, man. What is the match that you want to see most? Do you want to see a singles between Liv and Raquel, or do you want to see maybe a triple threat with the three of them?
That's what I want to see. I want to see Liv versus Raquel. It has the story. It has the thing, of course, Liv turn her back, of course, on Raquel, because Raquel's getting bigger now, more confident, and this is Liv kind of like trying to put her down a peg. Oh, you're not going to get bigger than me. And like, of course, and then of course Stephanie Vaquero, she doesn't fit. Even though I love her, Stephanie Vaquero, she just doesn't fit into the story
at all. Not at all.
And like the only part of the story that she fits into it is she's the champion. That's it.
Yeah, she does not fit the story. And yeah, man, Alex, Raquel worked so hard to get the crowd behind her, they didn't capitalize. No, I think that crowd would have went crazy on Raw if she won the title, man. I think they would have popped. Listen, Kevin Nash said maybe like a year ago that Raquel wrestles way too soft for her size. She'll never get the job done because she's too soft. And you know where Raquel goes? Thanks for the advice, Big Sexy. And dude, you could see it. Like, she took his words. And a lot of people, when they get constructive criticism, are like, fuck you. I don't fuck off. She goes, all right, Big Sexy, maybe I am being soft. And she has upped her game from a physicality level in a big way, dude. The whole big mommy cool thing. And she's hot as fuck. I think Raquel's smoking, dude. So you put the big sexy mommy cool, dude. Her and Liv, I love it. And Roxanne, we don't have to rush her, right? I mean, she's just a little pup still. We don't need to rush her into anything. I'm just saying she is. She's a little pup still, dude.
Oh my god.
We gotta rush her into it. So let's go back to WrestleMania 11. Let's throw it back to HBK versus Big Sexy, dude. Best friends turn bitter enemies for the world title. And I'm for it, dude. I'm up. That's where I want to be with that championship.
That were also tag champs together.
Multiple time tag team champions, dude. Yeah. No, so I'm totally down with that. Yeah, Raquel is a mommy monster. No, she is, dude. Raquel is she's awesome, man. Raquel was fantastic down at NXT. She kind of got the short end of the stick when brought up to the main roster, but she's been nothing. But she had like she had the skin issue for a little bit, so she was off TV for a while. But
Yeah.
she's solid. And yeah, Roxy is so young, dude. No doubt, Alex. No doubt. But those are the two Rumble matches. Curious to see where they're gonna go from there. Inside the Rumble, I think Obafemi looked like a fucking star, dude. I'd love to see him and Brock through them. My man, Powerhouse Hobbs, Royce Keys debuted. He had a really, really good showing, dude. I liked how they gave him the Powerhouse Hobbs on his entrance and then like broke it down for Royce Keys. So like they acknowledged who he is, who he was, and now who he is, right? So that's cool. They're saying maybe he's going to be on SmackDown. So before we hack over to AEW, before we jet out for the watch along tonight,
can I shout out the NXT women on the women's Rumble? At the end, we had three that were there after the pick after the 30th selection. You had Soul Ruka, my soul. You had JC Jane, and then of course you had Kalani Jordan.
Yeah.
They were all there, and they all showed out.
And I think all three are going to be great.
Yeah.
I don't mean to keep veering because we can't veer very much longer because we gotta ride out soon.
Yeah.
But Nikki Bella said, and it was so great seeing Brie Mode back, dude. I'm sorry, but I am all about the mode, dude. Yes. And I can't wait to see them in the
tag team challengers. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes, I love it, dude. They'll be in the Mania tag team match, and I kind of hope that they win it and pin another team that's not Riho in it in like a fatal four-way match. But Nikki Bella said she thinks that the women's division is at a better point right now than it's ever been. And additionally, on top of that, she thinks that the women's division is currently at a better spot than the men's division. True or false?
But correctly true.
Agreed. I agree, dude. I think, well, we can't say that because 3 of their 4 champions never defend their belts.
Because, but
top to bottom, I think they're booked better,
yes.
dude. Like,
yes.
Overall, I think they're booked better.
Like we see it on NXT with how the women are booked there. Then you see it over there. More segments, less part-timers, and more four-timers. That's what I feel the difference is you could use people thoroughly because you know they're going to be there week to week to week, and you can progress things. And you do have the things on the men's side, but like I feel like we have a better picture on the women's side. And they have more room to rotate women on each brand. I just talked to you earlier. That looks like we might get Lyra and Bailey on SmackDown.
That's awesome.
And we might get some sort of thing going with Drea and Lyra for the title.
Oh, fucking sign me up for Julia and Lyra, dude. Sign me up for that. No, it is. I really think it is. Do you think that, and like we just said, Jade doesn't defend her belt. Julia doesn't defend her belt. You got Stephanie, who rarely defends her belt. Do you think that these singles women's for years we have dogged the tag team division, but right now with Charlotte and Alexa, and with Kabuki, and with Riho, and with Bailey and Lyra, and now the Bellas are back, and with Lash Legend and Nia Jax, dude, I just named 6 tag teams. Right now, this women's tag team division is better than it's ever been, dude. Do you think that is taking away from these singles defenses? So maybe the singles feuds. So like, and Bianca Belair's out, so she's also not involved with things right now. Naomi's out.
I think it could, and then of course Tiffany was injured. It's like, who could you see the challenging Jade that wasn't Jordan Grace?
Well, I think it was supposed to be Michin and BFAB, and she injured them both at.
Yes, and then Michin, of course, is still hurt. And then that left Jordan Grace, but they haven't done anything. I think they've been kind of slow because they don't want to ruin the development of Jordan Grace now that she's up there. So it's kind of like they're kind of putting that weird scenario to where it's like, what? And then we haven't seen any Bianca, so it's like,
do you think Bianca's going to win Elimination Chamber and challenge Jade?
Well, she would have to qualify.
Oh, Tiffany is going to win it. My bad. Is Bianca not coming back till after WrestleMania?
I don't know. That's the question.
Don't fucking piss me off right now. I'm gonna really
because she would have to qualify for the chamber. Which
she got a finger injury. She has a finger injury. Why is she not back?
We don't know the extent. We don't know what kind of finger injury, this and that. You know how those are, because that affects.
I was thinking about this.
But if we do Tiffany, it's just going to be the same match again.
It is.
They've wrestled 3 times already. They wrestled at SummerSlam.
We're going to redo it at WrestleMania? I think we are. Fuck.
We're gonna get some sort of crazy like 6-pack challenge, aren't we?
Bro, I was so locked on Bianca and Jade at WrestleMania that I got distracted by the fact that Tiffany hasn't had a rematch yet. And it's probably going to be Tiffany and Jade.
Well, see, this is what I don't get is we're talking about her rematch, and Jade had 3 rematches after losing.
I don't get their rematch. Faces don't get rematch. I mean, why didn't Cody get a rematch? I mean,
he didn't get at least with his, he didn't get a rematch because it was signed in the contract by Drew that he doesn't, that if he lost, he wouldn't get a rematch. So he had it written in the contract.
Understood.
So at least with that, we have a story around it.
Okay, cool. All right, let's cut WWE. I want to talk AEW. But before we do, anything else on my boy Powerhouse, aka Royce Keys, or anything on Oba, or anything else you want to hit on?
It's the right decision. It's the right decision to have him right to the main roster. He doesn't need NXT, and of course, the way they presented Femi, he looked like a beast.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, him main roster is him on SmackDown. Oba should lock in, get loaded on Raw, and that'll solidify that. 2 monsters, and just fucking book them right. Book Oba right. Book this man Powerhouse Hobbs right, or Royce Keys. I'm sorry, I'll call it right one day. Fucking book Royce Keys right, dude. Have him a winner. I don't want him to be a heel though. I just make him a face for a little bit, and then maybe take the belt off Mello or something. But you're in a real good spot over there. Justin said,
and then you have Mello, and I don't even think he was in the Rumble.
He was not in the Rumble, dude. Not in the Rumble, but his boy Trick was, and the Trick, Javon Evans, and Oba Femi spot was pretty fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
that was dope. But Justin says Bianca broke her finger at the knuckle, and it was stuck straight.
Word elite.
It makes sense. Dylan, my guy, what is up, brother? What is up? Thanks for tuning in. What's up, Fluid? The promo battle between Punk and Roman will be off the chain, but the match will suck because of Punk, not Roman. I think Punk's had some great matches with Drew. I just think he needs the right partner in the ring. That match with Jey Uso was fucking putrid, but he just got to be in the ring with the right person. I mean, I thought the AJ match was really good. I don't know, I guess. Royce Keys is going to get lost in the shuffle on the main roster. No, Chris. No, we can't be talking like that. We need Royce Keys to fucking do his thing. Powerhouse is a stud. But speaking of studs, bro, this man just straight up says, I'm done with WWE. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm over this company. I want to leave. Fucking gets to leave. And then I think he's still on his NXT contract because that's why Malachi got to do it long ago. Assuming he's on his NXT contract still, assuming he's got a there's no non-compete clause in his contract. And this man just shows up and shows out, dude, his dynamite. I was texting you. I fucking fangirled like a little bitch, dude. I was OMGing like crazy. I'm like, oh my God, Ciampa's here. The music was sick. The intro was so sick. And then he just gets the title shot on Collision, which is awesome. But I just assume it's like, that's his way to break into the company. Good. He'll take the loss. It's fine. No, there's no harm in losing to Mark Briscoe. It's all good, dude. Like, then he's just going to, like, elevate himself over the next 6 months and maybe win the belt. Dude, you talk about making a motherfucking star. Come on, man. He is a star. He said you haven't seen nothing yet to his NXT days. Ciampa in NXT is a top 5 black and golder of all time.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this shit, bro.
He had some of the best shit. And then it was like in the time where he was tweeting, he was one of the first people that were tweeting and on social media, using it to his advantage with the Blackheart gimmick, coming out to no music. He was injured, which made the one of the biggest rivalries in NXT even better because he was out and gone, but still throwing stuff up, and kind of to help build Johnny Gargano. And he just has that it factor. Like, he's good on the mic. Like, I think he kind of got lost in the tag team, and then we know how WWE has been treating the tag teams the last couple of years. Now he can go back to being a singles guy and bring a little bit of that. And I love the moniker, the Psycho Killer. I love it. He's bringing the beard back a little bit, which is nice. And they showed off. Like you didn't need to have Mark Briscoe have a long reign because he's already established. He's already one of the fan favorites. He's built. This was a big move for them to catch people sleeping, to surprise people right there. That oh my God moment. Like he gets it right off the bat. Like we kind of needed that. And it was on Dynamite on top of that. Like, you know.
Yeah.
And Collision, my bad. He came to AEW on Dynamite. But it was big. You could see afterwards his daughter and his wife were there. He cuts that promo. You build in a little bit more. And of course, who's there standing on the ramp? Kyle Fletcher. We're going to get that right off the bat. I feel like at the Grand Slam Australia and Kyle Fletcher's backyard. And quote me on this, Ciampa beats Fletcher because of Don Callis family somehow.
I was going to say, bro, you can't do that in Australia and have him lose his belt so soon. You can't do that. Because Fletcher's above and beyond the North American title with all due respect.
He is. And I think this is just him doing what Don Callis wants him to do. And we know how all that is going to lead to. And I think that small thing of where Takeshita was like, you forgave him, and then he just walks away like, it's like, Takeshita, no. You know, I think there's more built into it. Just like you said, it brought in so many people and they lost. Which is fine that they've lost, because I feel like that's the way of getting them that. They bring him in, they build him over time, see how much that they've done. Because it's not about how you win, it's how you lose and how you've done win, losing, putting people over, unselfishness in that way. Yep. But like this was the way of catching people off guard. And
that's why I thought he would lose, and he'd build himself up for 6 months, get himself back to this. He'd be maybe in the C2 next year or something. Like he would show out. But damn, dude,
I think we can jump Doctor. I think we get a promo tonight.
A backstage vignette or a promo or something from him.
And if they keep him where it's like maybe like he does promos every week on Dynamite and then he wrestles every Collision, I'm fine with that. I like how they're doing that with certain wrestlers. That way you know you at least are going to have like some sort of split.
Like how FTR was just Collision wrestlers for a while. I don't know the Dynamite tag team match, which was awesome until the big boy took his bicep out, but. What up, Brian? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Saudi had a bunch of when Hobbs came out, they were chanting AEW. I was like, "Fuck!" I'm sure Triple H wasn't trying to hear that, dude. But yeah. So Ciampa's. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just like they caught me by surprise because like we knew he was going to leave, we just didn't know when, and it was quick. It was like boom.
Yeah, dude. No, it was so fast. I thought the 30-day compete, but then when I had no idea it was him, dude. When I started listening to the music, I was getting jazzed. I saw him, and I'm a black and golder, man. Like, that was my favorite era of wrestling since the Attitude Era. Like, in the Attitude Era, going back to it sucks. Like, let's be real. Like, it wasn't very good.
I haven't been on the WWE network where you could watch it, and then it was like, I loved it when it was that. It was only 1 hour a week. You had like 2 or 3 matches, but they were awesome. Like, that was fine. That was next time.
It was like from when Neville was champ to when Bobby Roode was champ, and then it fell off. Or maybe Keith Lee. I think it went from Neville to Keith Lee, and then it kind of like everything after Keith Lee fell off, I want to say. But man, that black and gold was my shit, which is why I love AEW so much, because really, like, AEW reminds me so much of black and gold, dude. And I'm just so happy AEW's clicking on all cylinders right now, including the main event scene. So I want to ask you, we got Dynamite starting in about 20 minutes. We're going to get out of here in about 10 minutes. But we got so many people vying for MJF's World Championship, which obviously was the right decision to put the belts on him. Brody King, in my opinion, tonight is going to beat MJF in this qualifier match, as he should. But then, MJF will beat him in the actual championship match. But you got Kenny Omega and Andrade tonight. What's going to happen there? You still got Hanger out there. Andrade beat Swerve last week, so for now, Swerve's out of it. But who do you think is going to be the guy to challenge MJF at Revolution? Do you think we should have got a multi-man match between these guys?
And I still think we have one guy in the chamber that I do think is going to win the Owen Hart Cup and then win the title from there. But that's another day. No,
is it your boy Switchblade?
No, it's your son's boy.
Oh yeah, don't get me started on him. We have no time.
No.
Yeah. All right.
That's a long-term story.
Yeah.
Story built.
Well, you need to do something because you don't beat John Moxley and become a jobber. You talk. I
don't think he's a jobber. I think what's going on is like a nice build, and it keeps him away because the more that he's in that picture, we want him to win, and then when he doesn't win, because they want him to have a big platform to win, it's going to hurt it. So I like what they're doing there. I just love the fact that we don't know what's going to happen. MJF was the right pick to win the title when he did. You got all these guys involved. I think it's going to wind up being Kenny Omega to face him at Revolution. I think afterwards, like it depends. Like it really all depends on what happens in this Andrade match with Kenny Omega. Like, it all depends on that.
Well, Andrade and MJF is no luster. There's no sex appeal for that, right? Like, let's be real. No offense to Andrade.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Maybe in September at All Out or something, but not yet, dude.
They give him a couple months, but geez, like it's tough. But that's what you want. You want multiple challengers, multiple roads that you can take, you know. I kind of still feel like we kind of know it's going to be Kenny Omega. And then don't forget, who's almost ready to come back from his injury?
This guy.
No, not him.
Will Ospreay?
Yes.
Ospreay.
And he has a built-in past with MJF too.
Right.
So, and I think at Revolution is when he comes back.
He needs to be the one to win the belt, in my humble opinion. Maybe from Darby. Whatever. There's so many.
Yeah, well, it could be. But I think they have to
brand extension.
But I think you can have Kenny Omega, MJF. MJF retains, and then the lights go out, and then Will Ospreay returns at the end of Revolution.
Okay, I love it.
And you have that.
I do.
But it's not just the world title; it's the world title scene too, and we have matches getting built off of that. That makes it more alluring to me for the future, because of course you just had Andrade and Swerve. You can build that back off because of how he beat him with the low blow.
Awesome Revolution match. That's a good call, bro. Swerve and Andrade at Revolution.
Yes, and we still haven't even mentioned Hangman Page. We haven't even mentioned him, and he has a trios titles.
You mean Horsecock?
Yeah, Horsecock, because he's on a side quest right now. That just it makes it so much more enjoyable knowing that there's more than one option. They finally built this main event scene up to what it needs to be, and you can kind of mix and match everything else because that's going well. I'm loving the TNT title scene. I'm kind of liking, and also on top of that, Takeshita, one of the best wrestlers, Bandito, one of the best wrestlers this year, and they're not even part of that world title scene yet.
How about
Bandito
Moxley and what John Moxley has done over the past 18 months? He literally John Moxley might be the smartest wrestler in the world, dude. He made us hate him on purpose. He made us hate him on purpose just to fucking lure us back in to say he's the greatest in the fucking world again, dude. Like, come on, man.
He told you why he was doing it. He was like, we've gone away from what we were. We need to get better, and that's what we're going to do, even if we have to beat it into you. And that's what they did.
He did it, bro. Like you just said, that main event scene is because of him. He elevated Hanger. He elevated Ospreay, dude. He fucking then elevated Darby, dude. Max is there now. Like what Moxley did, and us yearning to actually see the championship for all those months. Those boring. Yo, someone it was C Fluid. He just said CM Punk's matches are so boring, but that's by design. That's his strategy of wrestling. It's just old school wrestling. Moxley took us from the hardcore bleeding fucking bust your balls shit to doing the CM Punk style of just moves, slow burn moves to make us hate it. He is just a dude, and he's a continental.
But how great was that match? How great was that match between him and Fletcher?
Dude, oh my god, 6 stars. I loved it. It was the match of the night, in my opinion.
Yes,
dude, so fucking good. He's right. He literally lulled us in to think that he was a piece of shit just because he wanted us to think he was a piece of shit. Like that is a fucking pro's pro, man.
Like right now, the weakness is I think they could fix the tag team division with some of that, but like that's because of injuries.
Yeah,
I love it when you rage up Poppy. TK so sexy.
You're so sexy, Poppy. You're sexy.
But they have a lot of options now, and they're using guys. They're building up guys. Like it's great to see because like a year ago we weren't saying this. You know.
No,
they're finally getting it right.
And you know what's cool too? They have showed you different levels of their championships finally, dude. So the world championship is clearly the world championship, right? And what we've forever have thought the North American championship and the Continental championship were on the same level, but that is clearly not the case, man. You got the world championship, you got the Continental championship. I mean, fuck, what is the belt Okada's walking around with?
He has the
international championship, which is clearly higher than the North American championship. So, like, there's levels.
And we haven't even named my favorite wrestler.
Dude, Tom?
With his own national championship in Ricochet.
Yes.
Who is killing it as a heel. He's the champion there. He's kind of making Jack Perry relevant again as the babyface.
Oh,
with that,
I think Jack Perry should win the belt from him.
And he's defending the title on indie events.
So maybe Jack Perry shouldn't win the belt from him because Ricochet is having fun with that belt. Ricochet's fantastic.
He's having fun. I didn't read it all, but I was about to say he's having fun on social media.
Oh, Ricochet shit all over WWE again. He said WWE were in the careers of Ciampa. You were in the careers of Balor, Nakamura, Ali, Apollo Crews. And he goes, and I can go on and on and on. What's up, King? AJ Styles.
I want him to drop the title. I want him to drop the title and then go after Ciampa so I could get Ciampa and Ricochet.
Well, who's going to grow their hair out matches? That's what I read online, right? Yes, hell yeah. Also, there was an AJ Styles question earlier. Oh, yeah, I did respond in the chat. I do think that he is going to end up in AEW at some point. Because
CM Punk kind of dropped a hint that he knows what's but he doesn't think he's hanging it up. So I personally think he's going to do it like the phenomenal farewell tour, but it's going to be like among everything. Like maybe he does a match or two in AEW. Maybe he does a match in TNA with Frankie Kazarian and maybe Leon Slater. Maybe he does a match in New Japan. Maybe he does like the Indies. Maybe
his contract is just a one match contract because he's AJ fucking Styles and he's going out like that.
He does a poor appearance.
That's how they used to do. That's back in the day. That's how wrestlers used to get paid. It was a per appearance thing. It wasn't until Vince McMahon did his thing. 4:30 Central on Friday. You know, I think Melissa works. I do believe I will be home. Yeah, I can probably get down on that, Poppy. I probably can for sure. And you are right. It is almost time for Dynamite. That's why we're going to get the fuck out of here soon because the boys are coming in. I did see that picture, Fluid. Hangman actually put out like a real long statement on that picture as to the why he hung out with Marty and didn't defend Marty. Basically said Marty was a scumbag, is a scumbag, but he still is his friend. It was really weird. Go read it. I don't know maybe Bullet Club Wars coming soon. Obviously, you got Clark Connors there. You got Gabe Kidd definitely in AEW. Maybe Finley does go. I personally think that Finley and Drilla Maloney show up in NXT. Bro, we got to come back and do this again, though, because we didn't even get to talk about the New Japan shit. And you got Evil, Sonata, Hiromu, Finley, Clark Connors, Gabe Kidd, Drilla Maloney. Like, dude, that's 7. That's 7 right there leaving the promotion. That's fucking crazy, dude.
Maybe we'll have to do an episode of Dojo Debates to talk about that.
Dude, that would be perfect. I'd love to hop on some Dojo Debate and speak on some New Japan because I'm basically just curious as to where the... Obviously, you got the young kids still, dude. You got those young core. You got the champ with Yota Tsuji, and then you got Shooter there, and you got Ren Narita there still, and then you got fucking Yuya there. So, I mean, those are the core 4 to build around. But damn, man, yeah, they're losing a lot of people. I do think Evil is going to 100% show up in NXT. I really do. I can see maybe
Sinister.
Yes, maybe I would love to see Sonata there too. I would love to see Evil and Sonata as a tag team in WWE. That would kind of be cool. That's when I got into New Japan, was when LIJ was at the forefront, when Sonata and Evil were as a tag team. That was dope. Yeah, Tekla Karkanas. I'm done. I'm done talking. These guys are going live in 10 minutes. We're getting the fuck out of here. Fluid, thank you. Really appreciate that and really appreciate you tuning in. And we appreciate each and every single one of you guys for tuning in. We cannot thank you guys enough. You guys fucking rock, man. As always, please smash that like button on this video. Please subscribe to this channel, dude. We are en route to 2K. Like, we are so close. So if you're new to the channel, please smash that like button on this video. Please hit that subscribe button on the channel. These guys are live each and every single fucking night. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Justin doing their thing. Raw, NXT, Dynamite. Bakley doing TNA now on Thursday nights. Kayla always killing it on Friday Night SmackDown, plus whatever we got going on, PLEs, pay-per-views, Collision watch-alongs, flagship shows on Saturday. So that's it. We'll be right back here live in about 5 minutes for the AEW Dynamite watch-along. Bakley, I want to thank you so much, bro, for joining me today, man. This was impromptu NBA trade deadline talk. Was fucking fantastic, dude. Do you got anything that you want to say before we jet on out of here?
No, just be ready to go on to check us out for the AEW Dynamite watch along, and check out Game Breaker Sports Picks every day. We're on winnable.com. Of course, GBS Picks 2025 is the handle. Also on Twitter, on Instagram. That's me and Dylan. We do that every day. We're growing that, so check us out. And of course, later on, we'll be on. We're doing a commercial right now for the sponsors that we have for Game Breaker Sports and with Stoker Debate, because we're with NordVPN and Dubby. So definitely check out in the info section of the videos going forward for the sponsors.
That is right. Bakley is the man with that, dude. Go to GameBreakerSports.com. You can check out those picks as well. Plus, all those sponsorships you was talking about, you can go there, click on them, dude, hack in right through there. But we appreciate you guys so very much over here on the Debate Network. We thank you guys so much for tuning in, as we always do. We got Dynamite tonight here in a couple of minutes. We got TNA tomorrow night, Flagship Friday, SmackDown Friday. But I thank you guys so very much for tuning in to this show. Bakley, thank you for joining me. But other than that, until Dynamite, we out. Bang! Like a